Hey everybody, today we're going to do a verse from Psalm 46. It's one of my favorites. Psalm 46, verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. And so I think during this time, it's so easy for us to get bogged down by all the bad news and everything going against us, not the uncertainties of what's coming next. And so this is a great reminder for all of us. So today I have my watercolor paper. I have Zuzu with me, my right-hand woman who keeps me afloat and makes sure that I don't die. So today we're going to do God is our refuge and strength. So we're going to start with our paper landscape. About 3 inches down, we're going to do just one parallel line, very lightly, one parallel line to the top of the page. And then after that, we're going to do about 1 inch down, a parallel line to that. This is just going to be our lines that we're going to erase. These are to give us a little insight as to where we're going. And then we're going to do, I'm going to make a banner. So how I'm going to do that is I am going to make a parallel line about 1.5 inches apart. I'm going to make that into an actual rectangle. I'm going to try to erase the lines that... Is Hope singing in the bathroom? Mm-hmm. Okay, Hope is currently singing in the bathroom, having a great time. So I have my little rectangle right here. And then, hi Heather Duncan. We hope we get to go to family camp with you. We're going to give this rectangle little arms and little legs, like a little robot. Okay, and then we're going to bring this line parallel to this line. Bring it all the way out right here. And then we're going to make an inward triangle without this line right here. So part of a triangle. And you have just made yourself a banner. Way to go. Now, I'm going to connect this dot to this dot. And I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to my phone. This is so awkward. I'm ready for face-to-face conversation, everyone. I'm not good. I'm connecting this dot to this dot right here. Just connect the dots right there. So essentially it looks like a ribbon that's coming around. With that ribbon, I'd like for you to take a color. I'm going to choose blue. Here I go again with my blue. I love the blue. Mm-hmm. Any of these, or you can choose any of those. So I'm going to, sure, that's a good one. I'm going to go ahead and paint in this rectangle blue. And then we're going to come back to it in just a little bit. I'm not going to do my paint too thick, only because I want it to dry quickly. So I'm going to try to spread this watercolor paint all the way out through this whole deal. So I'm not even going to dip my brush back into my paint. I'm just going to dip it right here to take from that, and hopefully it'll dry quicker so we can get it done. Hope's having a good time in there, isn't she? Oh. Today the kids painted or drew pictures for the fire department, and we took them to the fire department.
I went to see Ella.
The church. And we went to see a friend, and we sat in her front yard and awkwardly stared at her. She was a good sport about it, but we were just missing her, so we just stared at her as we from our picnic blankets in her front yard. So here's our banner. And then I have my paper or my pencil again, and right below that, I'm going to do a little line right here again that I'm going to erase. But that's going to be to help me with my wording, to help me know where my wording is going. So now you could either use a marker if you wanted for this wording. You could use the watercolor pencils I've talked about. I have watercolor brushes you can get on Amazon. That's something you can use if you'd like. But I am going to use a paintbrush because that's what I like to work with the best. Look in there. Look in those doors. Open that.
What color do I need?
Well, I'm going to use blues, so you can choose whatever you want. So God is our refuge. That's our top line. I'm going to do it in a cursive.
How do we not touch this?
What do you need? Oh, you just kind of have to put your hand over here. She asked, how do you not touch this? Sometimes I might, but the idea is that we're not going to. So if you wanted to wait and paint that afterwards, like after you're done with your lettering, you can. I just did it for time's sake that I could get all of this done. So here, this is the lettering right here that I've talked about. If you want these letters, I can email you a copy of all my letters and you can just practice with other scriptures or other things you'd like to letter.
Wait, are we doing God is my on here?
Mm-hmm. God is our refuge.
On this on the whole one.
Yes.
Wait, God is our, and then we do refuge on this same line.
Yes. I know it's a lot. You could do is our if you kind of get into trouble. Do is our very small if you wanted to. That it wouldn't be. It wouldn't look bad if you tried to do it really small. So my words are pretty close together. So I'm just going to put a little dot in between each word to kind of give it some definition. Let's see. Refuge.
Second.
That looks great. I would make it a little darker. Go over it again. So Zuzu is using, can I show?
Yeah.
Zuzu is using watercolor pencils. So she's written it out in watercolor pencils, but she's going to go back again and do that foligraphy, but go over the entire thing. Because that way when we add the water in a little bit, when we go over, trace it with water, it's really going to pop off the page and look like she just used watercolor. So right now I'm going to come back over these letters. God is our refuge. Oh, I need this verse every day. Every day during this season.
Did we get Maddie's test results?
We have not.
When do you think they'll come?
Probably today. We're praying for our babysitter. She's amazing, and we're just praying that she is healthy. Okay, God is our refuge. Probably need to go over this 17 times just so I can remember it. So I can be encouraged when I'm feeling overwhelmed by homeschooling and overwhelmed by being home all the time and missing all of our people. We miss people so bad. I always knew I was an extrovert, but now I really know. God is our refuge. Right here, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Again, you can use those watercolor pencils, a marker. So right here, I'm going to write and strength and. So I know it sounds weird, but we're going to do and I'm going to do a block lettering. I like to switch from cursive to block just to make it look a little bit more, I don't know, to catch your eye a little bit.
Wait, and strength and?
Mm-hmm. Well, and, A-N. So God is our refuge and strength. And then it's comma and, A-N. So right here I got my block lettering going. I'm just using basic capital letters. But on some of the crossbars, this E, for instance, I'm going to do my cross a little lower. Hopefully I won't misspell this. Strength. Okay. G. TH. That can be another crossbar that's a little lower. Comma. A-N. And. So the only reason I'm doing and right here is because right here on my banner, what is so encouraging to me is when God's word says he is an ever-present help. He is always there, even whenever we're in the darkness of our closet and we're sad and we're scared and we're alone, that he is always there. So
and then we're going to do the word right there.
So we're going to wait for that banner to dry a little bit. But so right down here, it's going to say, well, ever-present help is going to be within our banner. But in trouble is going to go between this line and our banner. So in trouble. So he is an ever-present help in trouble. When that means just when we need him most, when we're sobbing in our closet and we don't know what to do. Not that I ever do that. Actually, I do. Almost every day during COVID-19.
You do?
Well, a bit more than I used to. But I will say, Zuzu brings such joy to our house, so she'll pick me up. She helps all the time. You got any fun stories, Zoo?
No.
No fun. Trouble, L-E. Judah was playing with a toad yesterday, and I thought this was hilarious. He asked Coco if he was like, hey, can I she had a little baby doll, and he goes, can I touch your baby with my toad hands? And I was like, no, you can't. Okay, down here we're going to write our verse, Psalm. I'm going to do it really tiny, right in the middle. Psalm 46:10. And I will say these are two different shades of blue that I have used. Sorry, Psalm 46:1. I was leading you astray right there. Make sure and sign your artwork. You can wait till the end if you'd like to sign it. And then we're going to erase these lines. And we're going to come back and let's see here. We're going to come back and outline our banner and then write our words in. I'm going to use a black to write them in so that you can really see them. Uh-oh. Well, there you go.
What'd you do?
I just messed up my... Let's see if I can fix that. Who knows?
How'd you mess it up?
Right there. See?
Oh.
So right now, I'm just going to come in here and try to smooth that in, but it won't be perfect. But while it's still wet, I can kind of at least blend it and hopefully make it look a little different. Okay. Well, I'll have to fix that in a little bit. But, so here we go. We can also, with our black, we're going to do a little shading right up here. No, not on this one. We're going to do some shading right up here. God is our refuge. So, as if the sun is hitting this way, we're going to make the shadow on everything the sun would not touch.
Can I do wash?
You can if you want, love. Of course. So I have with my black watercolor. And again, you could use a fine tip Sharpie if you wanted for this. I'm even going to do it on my dots in between my letters. But this is just going to make us see. Oh, look what I have done again, y'all. I need some help. I need some intervention over here. My word strength is just needs some prayer. Well, maybe I might have to do a wash over here, Zoo, just to get this word to look like it's normal.
I messed up mine, so that's why I'm doing it.
Well, good. Zuzu is doing a wash on hers.
Because I messed up.
Wow. Not as bad as I did, sis. Okay. Here, I'm going to keep going and try not to touch it with my hand. I've just done a doozy on this one today. I'm out of practice. Last week we did all kids, and I'll post a link later with all the kids' artworks that we did last week. And if you know of anyone who needs some activities for their children, that's fun. And then there's also some printables for if they have a preschooler. Good for scripture memory and just a good activity. Also, if you have any ideas on verses to do or for kids, little things to draw, you can learn how to do that. So God is our refuge. What a great way for us to look up, to remember that he is our refuge. He is our strength, even though I've kind of butchered that word right there. An ever-present help in times of trouble. Okay. A good way to look up and then look out and be reminded who in our lives right now needs to be reminded of this truth. Who needs that encouragement? Is it our neighbor? Is it someone that we know from church? Is it someone from school that we could mail this to or deliver to their doorstep? Ask God, who can you be an encouragement today? Who can you give this scripture to today? Okay, so ever-present help. This is dry enough right now, so that's what we're going to do next. Make sure I'm not messing it up again. Ever. I don't know why. That's the reason I wanted to put this in the banner. This wording was just, to me, that is such an encouragement to know that he's always there, that it's not that he promises that our life will be worry-free, but that he will be there through all the worry. He will be there. He doesn't want us to worry, but he'll be there through the hard times, and he'll never leave, never forsake us. Ever present.
Does this look okay?
That looks great. I can't wait to show everybody. Okay, present. And again, on those T's, I like to bring that line and make it very big right there. Big and curly Q.
Does this look bad with the wash?
I think the wash looks great. In fact, I'm probably going to do something around my word strength that I've demolished over here.
Yours looks so good.
This is my little encourager. I don't know what I would have done without Zuzu these last, all my whole life, but especially these last few weeks. Okay, now I got my word help, ever present help.
Do you have a tiny brush I can use?
You can use this one. I'm almost done with it. Or actually, here's a tiny one. Let me see if I can find another tiny. Oh, teeny tiny. Found one. Okay.
Ever present. Ow!
What happened?
These chairs have spikes in them.
Oh, yeah. Forgot. Corey, when we first were married, we bought these chairs at a at a flea market, and Corey, we recovered them, and I wanted to do it the quick way, and so the quick way means you
just messed up.
Oh, it needs to dry just a little bit more. It's okay. Just
Use the paper towel.
Anyway, all that means is we tried to do a DIY recovering job, and now there's little spikes in these chairs sometimes that you like randomly sit on. We still haven't fixed it. It's been 15 years. If someone would like to come over here and do some recovering and take out the way that we did the quick way to get it done. So here I am doing this, just outlining what I've already done. Under here, I'm going to do a little swoosh of black. Just, that's a shadow.
A swoosh?
A swoosh. That's a technical term. Not really. Okay. So because of my little whoopsie daisy over here on strength, I'm going to come and do a little wash just behind the word strength. And try to make, I don't know, make it look like mountains or something, but make it look like I kind of meant to do that. If you did not mess up your word as bad as I, please don't do it. So actually, I'll go ahead and finish it out and do it on this whole line just to make it look like I sort of meant to do that. But obviously, you know the truth. Zuzu knows the truth. Okay, and then right here we have a little tiny, like little aisle. And on that aisle, I would like to do an arrow. I've been reading a lot in Psalm 91. and talks about the shelter, but then I think, you know, our faith is because of his faithfulness. We've seen him be faithful, so this is us on the offensive. We've seen him be faithful with yesterday. We know he's going to be faithful with tomorrow. So I'm just doing a little arrow there just for fun, just something different to look at.
This looks very good when I put the water on it.
I think it looks great. Can I show them? So she did a little wash around hers, and then she's going over each of these letters. You can see how she's already gone over the G and the O with water, and then she's going to go over each of these letters after that. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.